I have a scrolling addiction. Not to Instagram or TikTok or anything, but Facebook Marketplace. Facebook has brought me tons of crap, such as this batch of Macintosh 512Ks and these cool servers. The thing is, when people sell vintage computers on eBay, they typically know what they have and they want a good price for it. And on top of that, you have to get it shipped to your house, and there's no telling what condition a glass tube is going to arrive in at your front door. Meanwhile, with Facebook Marketplace, not only can you find a cheaper deal on a computer in need of some love, but also it's usually pretty local, so you can go drive around town to go pick up some junk. After all, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Anyways, that's enough of that. I'll cut to the chase. I got this thing. Released in 1986, the third Macintosh model, named the Macintosh Plus, was offered as a higher-end computer next to their 512KE. That was an incremental upgrade to the 512K, which is technically an incremental upgrade to the original 128K Macintosh. Both the Plus and 512KE sport a Motorola 68000 processor running at 8 MHz. The Mac Plus comes with 1 MB of RAM standard, as opposed to the 512 KB of the Mac 512K, aptly titled. In addition to that, the Macintosh Plus introduced some hardware changes, most notably a SCSI port for adding an external hard drive and slottable RAM SIM slots for upgrading RAM later, up to a maximum of 4 MB. And so that brings us to the shop table. You see, the seller of this told me that it was either a ROM or a RAM issue. Now, if it's a ROM issue, that's perfectly within my realm of repair. As it stands right now, when I turn it on, I get this messy picture on the screen, which is a symptom of either a bad ROM or bad RAM. However, when I take the computer apart, I notice that these RAM slots here have their plastic tabs that hold the RAM sticks down broken off, which makes it to where the RAM might not make good contact. I assume that'll hold us back, so I went ahead and bought some new slots with some metal clips instead. By the way, these are like stupid expensive because like only one company still makes these, so that's what happens when you have a monopoly on the market. Right, let's get to it. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the case. This actually didn't come with any case screws, so I can just lift it up. But these are the 5 screws that you need to take out in order to disassemble it. Right, so with that done, we can now start poking around in here. Speaking of following along at home, if you plan on servicing a classic Macintosh with a tube like this, it's a really good idea to discharge the picture tube before doing anything. This is super easy. You can take a screwdriver and clip an alligator clip on the metal part, as well as this grounding lug on the top left. Then you can slide it under this anode cap and discharge the tube by making contact with the connector. If there's any charge, you might hear a pop. Some people would advise adding a resistor in line to that circuit with the screwdriver in order to prevent the tube from imploding. With a small tube like you'd get on a Macintosh, it's really not necessary, but if you're concerned with safety, you can do it anyways. I'm not qualified to tell you how to work on a cathode ray tube television. If you were working on, say, one of these units here, it probably would be a very good idea to use a resistor, but you don't have to. Whew, okay, with that out of the way, we can start yanking wires and pull the board out of the computer. There's simply just 2 cables, this floppy drive connector and this main board connector. And with that done, I can simply just slide the main board out of the computer. Right, motherboard came out pretty nicely. There's not a whole lot of rust on the case, which is really good. We got our 4 sticks of RAM here. As you can see, this one here has a good clip and the rest of these don't. So you can tell that some of these are kind of like bent up when they're not supposed to be. Like this one, see, it doesn't wobble, and these other ones all wobble. So we're going to try to fix that. So we're just going to start by pulling the RAM sticks out. Can bend what's left of the tab, and then just pull that up. That one comes out with no resistance. This one comes out with, this one's got a good clip, so it comes out with some resistance, and then this one just pops out. And now we just flip it over and start desoldering all of these. Wow, that was a real pain in the ass. It took like forever. It also took a week because my pump jammed and I couldn't get it unjammed, so I had to get a new cleaning drill thing. But we're ready to put the new sockets in. I'm hoping I didn't just mess up one of the pads, because some of those were a real pain to get the solder out of. But there's only one way to find out, so let's go. Right, well, the new RAM slots are in. Only took about a week. I've not tried it out yet. I've just got the chassis open here. I'm kind of scared to see what happens, but moment of truth, let's see. 3, 2, 1, power. That don't sound good. Nope, no luck. Well, I can't really confirm if it's a RAM issue or not, but at least the RAM looks like it's seated in there now, so I guess we gotta try and put some new ROM chips in it. So the problem is that I only have one blank ROM chip right now, so I don't actually have enough to program a pair for this. So, but luckily the Macintosh Plus and the Macintosh 512KE use the same ROMs, so that only means one thing. This again. Stupid computer repair. Why do I do this to myself? Honestly, I gotta find a better hobby. Okay, so the idea here is pretty straightforward. We're just going to take these two chips out and pop them in here. As I mentioned earlier, I do have one spare ROM chip, so if I fuck one of them up, then we can replace it. But only one. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out first. Well, shit, that didn't take long, did it? Okay, took that one and put it in there successfully. So we're going to go program the other one, I guess, and go get it. Did you miss me? Because I sure didn't. Right, just got back from the programmer. We got a freshly programmed low chip. Let's go ahead and shove it in here. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to be incredibly upset that we, messed up that other chip. Well, that was a disaster, but hopefully the results of it weren't. There's only one way to find out. Please work. Oh. It doesn't work. To test my theory, I took the ROM chips from the Plus and put them in the 512, and sure enough, it works fine. I don't know if it's in the board or the solder joints or the RAM sticks themselves. To be honest, that RAM soldering was a royal pain, and some of them just refused to go, and I had to heat them for a very long time, so if I screwed something up, I honestly would not be surprised.
A few moments later.
So I got curious, and I decided to put the Mac Plus board into the 512K, since basically all classic Macs use the same power sweep board, so it typically would just work. And you're not gonna believe me, it turns on. The thing is though, it turns on and it displays this line pattern, but it doesn't get past here. Maybe if I just leave it here for like 5 minutes, it'll boot up. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it and find out. But that's something. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. I quit. See, look at that. 4 megabytes of RAM. Well, keyboard works. Mouse works. The analog board on the Plus does not work. And the floppy drive controller seems to be messed up as well. So we got some work to do, but this is something, and this is a good place to end the video. So check this out. I got changed, and I put the board back into the Plus and was getting ready to film the outro. And one of the observations that I made is that sometimes the lines would come up and sometimes they wouldn't. And further than that, wiggling on the main connector would cause the video to show up sometimes and not show up other times. So this means there's either a cracked solder joint on the main board or the mother or video board or one of the connectors or something of the sort. I'm gonna have to resolder it at some point, but we can do that. I even tried out the floppy drive and it reads both 400 and 800K discs perfectly, so it seems like everything works. So that's gonna do it for this video, and I'd just like to say thank you for making it to the end. We just reached 200 subscribers, and I'm so happy for all 200 of you beautiful people. The truth is, this channel is just a hobby that I do in between work and college classes, so it's so awesome to see that at least more than one person gets enjoyment out of my hobby as well. In reality, I actually have no idea what I'm doing, but that's kind of the point. I don't want you to walk away from these videos thinking that repairing old computers or even electronics in general is a super hard thing to do. I want you to know I am not a professional, and you don't need to be one to learn how to do this sort of thing, if you're willing to research and learn. Really, if someone like me, someone who has yet to take any formal education regarding computer repair, can do this, I'm sure you can do it too. Fixing up stuff like this is a great way to learn how they work, and the best thing I could ever hope to do with this channel is inspiring people like you to get out there and learn about electronics and start fixing them. Because they truly are fascinating machines in both the ways that they are assembled and operated, and it truly never ceases to amaze me. I will say though, buying and repairing old computers like this can turn into quite the expensive hobby, but regardless, thank you for watching this, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Until next time! Damn. I just cut that on camera.